So one thing that people have been wondering a lot about with Rainbow Six Siege is, all right, we've seen multiplayer, we've maybe even played multiplayer in the alpha. What about single player? What about sort of that part of it? Now you revealed something about that. Can you tell us a little bit about what the premise is, what the idea is with Terror Hunt?
So Terror Hunt is the classic mode everyone knows from previous Rainbow games, and it's back in Rainbow Six Siege. This time we're going to have 4 modes under Terror Hunt. So Terror Hunt is our solo and co-op offering, and there's going to be 4 modes in that offering. What you saw today was Disarm Bombs, one of the many modes. In Disarm Bomb, you have to you are spawning as attackers, and you have to infiltrate a French consulate, and you have to disarm 2 bombs. So you played a little bit of it and saw that like the hands-off demo, and you got some hands-on. It's pretty fun. The AI is particularly challenging this time around. They're able to breach, they're able to fortify, they're able to do a lot of stuff. So it was our quest to make a really, really interesting, tactical, and hard, challenging AI for players. So that's what we're showing off today.
Yeah, I think one of the things that struck me was the fact that it has that feel of multiplayer intensity that sometimes is lost when you go single player or co-op, but that is something that you wanted to maintain for Terror Hunt as well.
Yeah, we wanted to keep certain feelings that you get in PvP. We didn't want to do a carbon copy of PvP onto the Terror Hunt. We want it to be like a different experience with like the same DNA, right? So that's why there's a crescendo right now when you play Disarm Bomb. There's the slow moving up, and then once you start defusing the bomb, then tons of AI start repelling and breaching because they know where you are and they want to take you out because you know that you're disarming the bomb. So there's that crescendo of like an intense firefight with multiple players in PvP. But here it's so many different AIs coming in, and they want to just prevent you at all costs from completing your objective. So it's that same like build up and crescendo that it's going to be in both pieces, but done in a very different way.
You mentioned the AI and how important that is for this kind of experience. Can you talk a little bit about how you've gone to work to make sure that the AI sort of behaves in a sort of smart way and that will sort of create for good gameplay?
So the AI is run by what you call a strategy manager. So essentially the AI will react to stimulus that the player actually does. So when you spawn in a map, depending on the difficulty, depending on the map, depending on the time of day the map is in, the strategy manager kind of sets a strat for the beginning of the mission, sorry. And then for the mission, when you go in there, how you approach that mission, the AI will react differently. So let's say all right guys, let's go loud, and let's say you're playing a hostage extraction, which you just have to go in and extract the hostage as an attacker. Let's go loud, let's just grab the hostage and get out there like ASAP and try and do this as fast as possible. The AI will feel that aggression that you're giving and reorganize everything to try and combat you on that end of it. So it's all about reacting to the player's stimulus and picking the best way to kind of take you out. So all the tools we've given the AI, using them all against you in very cool and interesting ways is the best part of Terror Hunt so far.
And that's when it comes into play that you can sort of trick them and you can be a little bit more smart about it and not perhaps go in loud and do things a little bit differently as well.
Yeah, it's all about that team play. So we want to reinforce team play. Just like what we said previously about like the tension building, like tension kind of causes players to kind of work together, and then team play causes tactics to happen. And there's this like domino effect that we see whenever we kind of ramp the tension up a little bit. And that's what you're kind of experiencing, right? When the AI pushes back a little bit and tries to outsmart you, the first thing you do is you call out what's happening, and you tell your friends or you tell whoever you're playing with online what's going on, and then they're going to react, and you have to kind of like tactically like reorganize and regroup and kind of combat the AI a little bit faster. So if you're going aggressive and it kind of doesn't work out, you immediately go, okay, that does not work, guys. We have to do something else. Like, somebody put a breach here? Can we just like fall back to a different floor and kind of flank from another angle, or go back outside, repel, do something else because the AI is particularly fighting back and you want to try and win.
I think I noticed that in the level design as well, that, of course the level is very open, so there's a lot of entrances, exits everywhere, and of course you can create them yourself as well. So you always get that feeling of you cannot sort of keep an eye on every doorway, every possible point of entry. There's always that sort of you have to keep moving and looking in different directions.
Yeah, and the cool thing about Disarm Bombs, the game mode you played today, it's actually one of the most interesting things is when you're disarming the bomb, you have to defend the bomb. So it's the first time you're defending as an attacker, which is very. When we made the mode, we're like, oh, this is really cool. This is interesting because you're doing a defender's job, but you have no defenses, right? You're an attacker. So we've seen people do some really cool, interesting things with the attacking tools that we've given to the attackers, but using them in defense ways. So that's an extra kind of layer on top of it, of which, like you said, it's the first time as an attacker where you're actually looking at all the walls going, instead of, okay, I have to breach through there, you're more like, I hope they don't breach through this wall, I have to like look at this one, right?
Yeah.
So we flipped the whole thing on its head, and it's been very fun. Like it just shows that there's a strong base, and players are reacting to it pretty well.
And maybe you have to think about how you're going into that situation and not sort of so that you can have some sort of cover left when you're in there.
Yeah, it's a good question that players have had. But since the playtests we've been doing for this mode in particular is, and even the hands-off that you saw, like my own buddies in the dev team, when they're when they're breaching, they're doing tactical breaches because they don't want to level the whole place because then they feel really exposed. It's kind of a cool conundrum to be in, like as a player, and it's a cool question to give them because then it's one extra tactical or strategic thing before you go and go, all right, guys, don't blow up every wall around the bomb because we have to protect that bomb. So let's go in, and then let's do this, right? It's one extra layer that starts a conversation as you go in, and again, Terror Hunt's gonna be completely match made, just like a PvP. So that talking to players online or your friends is again really important.
So if we go up one level above that, we got the sort of the siege generator, or this sort of this thing that sort of randomly, procedurally creates a new scenario every time you play, which is really nice. But how does that tie into progression and sort of those kind of things?
Well, in Rainbow Six Siege, we're all about the player's story, the player's journey. So the progression, how you gain progression in the game is at your disposal. If you're a PvP person and you want to play PvP and that's all you want to do, then you can unlock operators and progress in the game just by playing PvP. If you're a Terror Hunt person and you just want to play Terror Hunts, you can totally do that. If you want to do Terror Hunt solo, you can totally do that. We're giving the tools to the player and saying, make the experience you want. We're an advocate for you. You can do it. What the Siege generator does is it takes a map. You select the ingredients you want. Let's say you say, okay, I want to play Terror Hunt. I want to play it on consulate, nighttime, on realistic. We will matchmake you with anybody else that wants to have that same experience. And you just jump in, and they want that because they selected that. Or you just want to play Terror Hunt, you just hit Terror Hunt, we matchmake you there. And the generator goes, okay, realistic, this time of day, this time of night, I'm going to lay out a strategy, like barbed wire is going to be placed here, barricades going to be placed here. This is going to be like the first layer of the gameplay that you're going to experience, and then from there it reacts to you. So that's why we say it's like, we're trying to make it so that you never have the same experience twice. Because you choose the experience you want, and then the AI has a little, puzzle for you to solve.
Very interesting. So we've already gotten a firm date. How do you feel about the months that you have left to go and sort of where you're at in development right now?
Well, I mean, we've been working very hard for the past couple of years, and where Terror Hunt is right now, where PvP is right now based on the closed alpha and the help from fans, and anybody who participated in the closed alpha, we've been changing the game based on feedback at all points in time. We know the game is fun. We've been told the game is fun, and we've been tweaking from now on. So now it's about the final push, optimization, getting everything in order so that players have the best experience possible when we ship on October 13th.
So solo and co-op, how does it work when you play solo?
When you play solo, it's all about solo, right? It's you by yourself as a player against the AI. So it's kind of this extra difficulty we're putting in there. So if you want to be a lone wolf and go in and move throughout the map and try and complete it yourself, you can. We're all about team play, which is why it's never been easier for it to be matched with another player if you want to play with somebody else. But if you want to play solo, it's you versus the AI.
Right. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem.